Oh my gosh, it accepted it. Let me tell you something. I'm so glad I stayed up because I'm on here.
So what?
I said I'm so glad I stayed up because usually I would be asleep by like 7.
Oh goodness. Okay. What's going on?
Let me just say that I love every single thing that you have taught me. I never knew what a narcissist was until like I'll say like 2 years into my relationship.
Okay.
And so like by then we had got engaged because I was like, I don't want to be a girlfriend for more than 3 years. You should know out the jump if you want to get married or not. And so, like, I was ready to leave. And that's when he was like, let's get engaged. And so we
Oh,
had got
look,
engaged.
look. You was ready to leave, and then he just got on bended knee.
Yes, it was like, let's just do it. And I
Okay.
was just like, okay, like, even though red flag, red flag, red
Yeah,
flag.
little one, little
Yes.
bit.
And so later on, like I had started doing like my own therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And usually like us women, like we'll get a woman. But I was like, I need a man. Like I want a man therapist to tell me if I'm wrong or
Mm-hmm.
how do I look at this from a different perspective. And when I say the man was like, you're dealing with a narcissist. And I was like, what is that?
Oh.
And he was like, well, number one, if y'all aren't speaking right now and you told him that you had therapy, this was your first session, you told him the time, and all of a sudden he's calling you,
Oh.
he was like, that's a red flag.
Oh. Good
Red
therapist. Good job,
flag.
therapist. Good
And
job.
so I ended up switching my therapist because I was like, I don't want to
No,
just stay talking
he was a
about him.
therapist.
Yeah, so I switched
Okay.
him. And I ended
Okay.
up getting a black older male therapist.
Oh.
And he was just like, "Oh no, this is a red flag. This is wrong." He was like, "Are you really this is who you really want to be with?" And I was like, "Yes, I love him no matter what." And it was just so crazy because I would tell him like the little stuff. I was like, I went to Starbucks today and he threw a whole fit. Like it wasn't his money, it was my
Mm-hmm.
money. And at the time I was in school, I was trying to buy a house. I'm taking care of my only 2 kids by myself. And I'm also helping him with his kid. And so it was like, you're really mad that I just bought a $7 coffee? And I was like, but you're gonna ask me for $30 in the next 2 days. This
Oh.
doesn't make sense. And he was like, I don't want to marry you. I don't want to have
Uh-oh.
kids if you're gonna act like this. And I literally like for 2 months straight, like I had cried and I cried and I cried. And I was like, God, like I don't know what to do. Like even my past traumas, like I would tell him and he would use them. And then if I shut down, then he like, so what you mad for? What you mad for? What? Like it was super weird. But I got to a point where I was like, okay, like my therapist was helping me and he always wanted to know what is the therapist talking about. And I was like, I don't feel like I should have to tell you what me and my therapist are talking
Mm-hmm.
about. And so he had an issue. And then my therapist had went and he sent me a text message, but he made it seem like it wasn't him, but I knew it was him because I couldn't have contact with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so my therapist literally was like, you got this, hold your head up. Like basically, he was speaking life into me. And he was so upset. He was like, did you switch your therapist? Why didn't you switch your therapist? I don't care how much money it is. And I'm like, bro, like,
You don't care how much money it is, but you worry about Starbucks, some
yes.
Starbies.
Yeah, so I lied to him and I was like, I did switch my counselor, but I never switched my counselor. Like,
Okay.
I loved my therapist because it's like, I feel like as a black woman, I needed to hear that from an older black male.
Yeah.
Like, you just did so much on your own. You're not even enjoying it. So I didn't enjoy the process of graduating. I didn't enjoy the process of being a first time a homeowner. Like, I didn't enjoy these things because you made it miserable.
Yep.
And every single time it was my time,
Yep.
like, you made it about you.
I'm,
And so, like, once I came across your page, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really how he acts. And so I was like, yeah, it's time to go. But it
oh,
was like my therapist was like, you have to be prepared to like go ghost. You got to do everything like you have to do it a certain type of way because he's not just gonna let you go. And all these times, like he never let me go.
yeah.
So once I got that order of protection, like I felt like I
Damn.
was crashing. I felt like I was crashing out. I felt like I was gonna lose every single thing because I was like literally losing myself. And he's like, I need you. I need you. And I'm like, how much more can I give? And when I say it was just like once I got the order of protection, I was like, okay, he stalked my cameras. He watched my cameras 3 times a day. I would log him out. He would log back in. I
What?
would log him out. He would log back in. And I'm like, bro,
What?
I slept behind my house one day. It was
Oh
like,
no.
it was that bad. And so I literally, for a second, I was like, God, like, I have to take myself off of this earth in order for this man to like be gone. And then afterwards, like, I was good. I got my order of protection. I haven't seen or spoke to that man in over 8 months.
Good for you.
I did hit his car and I was like, oh my gosh, I apologize. But at the same, because I knew it wasn't right and I knew I could have lost everything in that second. And he literally pulled out the camera and I was like, you stupid bitch. Like, I was like, I've seen this already. Like, I know this is how a narcissist moves
Yeah.
because it's like now you want somebody to see my reaction, but you don't want to tell them what you
Yep.
did. And so, yeah, like when I say I loved it, and then I did, like, it was a couple times we were in the car and I actually played some of your videos. Well, what are you saying? Are you trying to prove? And I was just like, nothing. I didn't say anything. He was like, are you trying to say that's how I act? And I was like, if that's how you feel, take it how it is. And yeah, it was horrible. We were together for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was
But
horrible.
good for you escaping that right there because that can become so tough, especially when you are trying to celebrate the victories of life and these accomplishments and doing all this stuff with your children and graduating, and you can't celebrate it because it sounds like you have two
Yeah,
kids,
I do.
so it sounded like you had three, right? It sounded like it sounded like
Exactly.
you had a grown one
Yeah.
too that was
Yeah.
mad you were spending his allowance on your coffee, right? You know,
Man, it was the coffee. If I didn't get, I had to get his name tattooed
yeah,
for like,
you get
yes.
is that covered up yet?
I haven't yet because I want to get like, I want to get something that's
Okay.
peaceful, like just a peaceful going away. So they're like, yeah, if you want to do this, let's do like $300. And I'm like, cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting till the right time. It's gonna be this year because I've literally put so much time into myself now. Like,
Yeah.
woo, it's hard being a single mother, but I get up, I go to the gym. I'm at the gym by 5 a.m. I go straight to work afterwards. I go to class at night, and then I'm back at home with my kids. And I'm literally like, this, it's the peaceful state. Like, I don't want to rush it. I just want to focus on like my
Yeah.
happiness at this moment.
And that's exactly what you need to focus on right now because I feel like you've shown yourself that you can accomplish a lot of stuff on your own, right? So you don't necessarily need a man, right? You don't need a man.
Yeah,
You want one, and that's important. You get to the point where you feel like you need one. That's when you start missing red flags and settling. I need a man,
exactly.
or I need somebody to share this life with. You don't need that, right? Right? You want one because wanting and needing is so totally. I feel like when you fall in love, when you find your true soulmate or whatever, you can need this person. Right? I feel like then it can
Yeah,
shift. But if you go into it with a need as a need, you can miss some red flags, right? If I was saying it's just like
exactly.
this person in this position is something he was doing, he's just kind of showing you, you know, this is how he's going to be. Especially you on the way out the door. He's like, I'm leaving. He's like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just get married. You
Yeah.
know, because if they get to the end point though, and then they're proposing, it's like they never wanted to do it in the first place. They were just trying to,
That's
because
how.
yeah, they will try to waste the prime of your life to hold you there, to
Yeah.
use you, abuse you, and then go find somebody else, and they'll blame you for sticking it out with them. You didn't have to stay with me. You could have left a long time ago. You could have
Yeah.
did this. You could have did that. Right. So this type of stuff starts to happen. So if it's just in that space right here, I feel like you're doing good right now, especially in the psycho shit, because you see he wanted you to switch therapists because the therapist was telling you to leave him alone. And that's just, and to me, when I hear you say that, that's a direct indication that he knew he was doing some bullshit, right? He knew he was on some bullshit. You told your therapist about me. What'd you
Yes.
say? What'd you say with your therapist?
I'm
Did
telling.
you switch? Huh?
And then like I would get the silent treatment for like 3 days, and I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then at the end, once like once I started talking to people, they were like,
Yo,
that's who you were
that
dating? Like we would
is
have
wild.
to. He had like, and I went back after my order of protection, and I was able to see that he had 2 other order of protections
He
before
got the
me.
list. He in the system.
And I was just like, it's so crazy because both of the girls, like one of them, he has a child with, and then the
Yeah.
other one, like she's just around. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like y'all still want to deal with
Yeah.
him? It was definitely like, yeah.
It gets in here. It gets in here. But just think about that disconnect right there. That a mother would a dude would stop talking to you because you're going to therapy and working on yourself.
Yeah.
This is like, you know what? I like you just the way you are. Like I'm just can I not I like me too, but I can want more though, can I? No.
Yeah.
You talk
It
about
was just, it was
that's
really
wild.
crazy because I worked under juvenile parole,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I don't want you to do that. I don't like that you work with those boys.
Oh Lord.
And I loved every single one of them because like we work with the kids that like to kill and steal and do
Oh
all that other
Lord.
stuff. And so it was like, for the first time they're able to connect with somebody, they have respect and all these other
Yep.
things. And I literally had to stop doing it. I was going to school to be a social worker. He threw a whole fit over that. And now that he's gone, like I'm just like I'm doing every single thing that I want to do. Like it just
Yep.
feels amazing. You get up every single day. You don't have to worry about, is somebody gonna taunt you? Is somebody gonna bring up your
Mm-hmm.
past? Is somebody gonna take and not give? It's just a different type of feeling.
Yeah. It's sometimes like you don't realize it until you get out of it. Because when you get out of it, you kind of start to glow and grow.
Yeah,
You're
you
like, man,
see everything. You see
yeah,
everything for what it was, and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't you see
yeah,
that? But it's like when you're in this supposedly love thing, you don't see it, you don't understand it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The goggles, the rose colored glasses or the goggles or whatever, they get
Hmm.
it can get in
They
here. Once they get in there, it's
do.
hard to get out.
They do. It's a little switch. Like they be like, I'm done, and then they come back. I'm like, oh my
Yep.
god.
The back and forth stuff,
So,
the ups and downs, that's what kind of keeps you on the ropes right there. That kind of keeps you kind of guessing and keep your mind wondering and things like that.
yeah.
So as you move forward, like he might be done now. It's been 8 months. What is
Oh,
the
he done.
return?
Oh, he done because let me tell you something. He went back. He went to prison for a second for like 3 months,
Damn.
and then he went to prison for 3 months. And then when he got out, he was like, "I want to order a protection against her too." And so they were like, "Okay." And so he went to a different county, and the judge was like, "What do you want to order a protection for?" And he was like, "So she can't go around talking about me to people." And he was like, "I can't stop her from doing that. Like, what is your legit reason for this?" And I was like, "I'll tell you, I hit his vehicle. I apologize." And he was like,
Mhm.
"Oh." I'm just gonna give you 3 months. And I was like, that's nothing. And he was like, 3 months. And I was like, that's nothing compared to a lifetime. Like,
Yeah.
we don't even have to be here because let me tell you something. Mine is for 2 years, yours is for 3 months, but this is a lifetime.
Yeah. He
Why are
was
we
sick.
doing this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
He was sick. He was sick. He wanted you to go to jail.
Yeah, he did.
he, wa-
And I
he,
was
wanted,
like,
he wanted you behind
I
bars.
was
Yeah.
like, let's
Yeah.
do it. Like, if that's what it has to take, let's do it. But I was like, you know what? I learned my lesson. Like, I shouldn't have hit the car. But he was in my face, like acting
Yeah.
like everything was, oh, I'm so sleepy. Ow! Okay. I said, look, you want to go to work? You got two options. You stand right here, and I'm gonna hit you with my vehicle, or get in the car, try to leave, and I'm still gonna hit the car because I just got you this car. Like I
You got
just
him
had
the
to put
car?
in. I didn't pay for the car, but I made sure he got his driver's license. I made sure that he had every single thing that he
Yeah.
needed in order to
So,
get that car. So let me tell you something. That's our car right now.
yeah. So, but you see how earlier I said it sounded like you had a third child. You see what I'm saying? All the
Yep.
stuff you had to do for it as an adult. You're like, hey, baby, let's get the driver's license. Okay. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
And that's when we were in the process of, I need you, I need you, don't go nowhere, I need you. And so, yeah, at the end, I was like, I know I shouldn't have never hit his vehicle. At the end of the day, I should have never reacted. I reacted. We're all
Mm-hmm.
human. But at the end, I was like, baby, let me tell you something. Like, I said I want to see how I looked in that moment of me being vulnerable because I never want to be that vulnerable again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I see at that moment, I just wanted a moment of peace, a moment of silence. I understood I broke his phone because now you want to record my reaction, but you don't want to tell people what you did. And I was just like, if I break this phone, that means that you no longer have a way to contact me
Yep.
unless you come to my house. You have no way to watch my cameras from this point. And so I was like, this is basically just releasing me. And as soon as it was all done, I called the police and I told them myself, like, this is what I did. I did it. I did it. And I was like, we got to get an order of protection now, and it's going to save both of us in the long run. Because
Yeah.
I know I have an order of protection. Baby, I don't want to go to jail. I'm too scary. And you don't want to go to jail, so let's just do it this way. And I mean, at the end, it worked out. So
Yeah. So good.
I pray for any woman that's going through that or man.
Yeah. So good for you though, because like escaping that right there, and you, like yours is a clear example that sometimes leaving can be the most dangerous time, right? Because when
Yes.
you try to leave and they're not done with you yet, they logging onto the cameras, watching you, doing weird shit, trying to scare you, doing all this other stuff right there, right? So thankfully you survived and you got out of there, because
Yeah.
some people don't make it out. So you're here for a reason. So you have a lot of life left to live, and you get to care for
Exactly.
your two babies and whatnot as well. So they need their mama here.
Exactly. So
So
thank you. I just wanted to come and say thank you. I really appreciated you. Cause boy, you showed up in my time of need. I was like, this is how he really acts. I was like, so it's time. If I see another man is saying that these are the flaws and these are the tendencies of a narcissist, this is not godly.
yeah.
And I used to say, let's pray. He didn't want to
Oh yeah.
pray. I
You
I
want to catch on
understand.
fire. You want to
Yeah,
set his ass on
yeah,
fire
I
right now.
understand. I understand now. So thank
No
you.
problem. Thanks for hopping on and be safe. Take care of yourself.
Thank
Okay.
you. Have a good
All right.
night.
You too. Yeah.